front, true believers. This is Modular Mania's No Prize podcast, the podcast where I talk comic movies, merchandise, and more. I am your host, a Boingo writer, and with me, as always, in the bullpen,
representing the clickbait article generating competition, the Vacuuminator is here.
And your camera's not working.
Oh my god. How about now?
It is.
It's a fucking thing, man. We've been having all kinds of problems with this
Model
tonight.
your pretty face for us, in case we forget what it looks like. Now give yourself a good slap. Oh god. Visually that worked. Audibly it didn't. We couldn't hear a thing.
It's because I only really hit like right here. So you got like the sound of like just hitting a tooth is what that was.
Hi, this is No Prize. We talk about comics and shit. How was your shit?
It's okay. I might have to take another one later though.
Yeah, some tummy issues on this end. Not majorly, just minorly. Minor tummy issues.
I'm also a little under weather in general tonight. I've got like a minor cough, so if I sound a bit off, that's why.
I mean, technically, we're all under the weather.
Oh, yeah.
It's climate to change.
Oh.
I'm a funny man, apparently. But, hey, what are we talking about today? What are we talking about today?
I believe there's nothing new out, so this week we're returning to Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Yeah! Welcome to the Kree Empire.
Oh, thank you. It's great to be here.
Mm-hmm. Just mind the racism, and the fascism, and the xenophobia. The hammers will get you. Are you pink or blue?
I think this might be an allegory for something. I'm not sure, though.
I am being serious. There are pink Kree, and they are racist. Being racist against.
Hi, Aki. Welcome to the chat.
Hi, welcome to Yes Prize, where we say yes, prize.
So there's an alternate universe where Stanley just bankrupted the company in the 70s by giving out prizes to everybody.
But yeah, this is just this is where we're finally getting to. I wouldn't say it's a thing Marvel really likes to do. Of this is a one and done story, but it's only one chapter of a longer fucking dumb thing that lasts decades.
This is the first true plot episode of this show where it's like, if you want to know the season arc, this is one you cannot skip.
Oh yeah. The prize is going to be special artwork, won't bankrupt the company. No, but it bankrupt the artists.
Yeah.
And Stan
also, Jack Kirby would have quit a lot quicker.
Oh, probably. But this episode, the Kree show up and go like, "Hey, yo, we got big dicks. Give us your planet." And humanity goes, "No,
we have sword now. That's not happening."
Oh yeah. Also, it's just funny that Abigail Brand's not the head of Sword yet.
Yeah.
She's just an agent.
It also just threw me that Abigail Brand was here. I had no idea she was in this show.
I mean, Abigail Brand was created in 2002.
Yeah.
She was around for a while. She was an established character.
But I never heard of her until the Krakoa era. So
that's what, but also, how often did you dive into the cosmic side of Marvel?
Nah, true. But this episode starts up and it's Carol's walking. I think that's the guy from WandaVision, the sword agent guy from WandaVision.
No, that's Guy Rich. He's the racist asshole who's been part of Orchis in the X-Men comic.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's that guy.
Yeah.
I knew him. I was like, I think I know this guy. And then fucking Abigail Brand is just there yelling at a computer. And I'm like, holy shit, it's Abigail Brand.
Abigail Brand is one of those definitive, she can't be evil, she's hot characters.
Oh, yeah, Aki's totally right in the chat. Abigail Brand has big dummy mommy energy.
It's a weird thing where it's she doesn't dress goth, but because of the green hair, you kind of get a goth vibe.
The green hair and like the darker green lipstick she always has.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. She's part alien. That might not be lipstick. That just may be the color of her lips.
Mm. Yeah, I like how they simultaneously hint at that and hint at her being a mutant at one point in this episode in like the most blink and you'll miss it way.
Yeah. And it's funny that Guy Ritchie was there. But basically, they're on I don't want to say it's the point. It's not the point.
No, it's just a sword ship.
It's just a sword ship. And the Kree come in and go like, "Hey, you got 10 seconds. Do what we fucking tell you to." What? 10 seconds up. Fuck you.
Yeah, and then it turns into an alien invasion plot line with Carol going to Marvel like, "The fuck, dude," repeatedly.
Look, I'm trying. Just surrender. That's not trying.
Mm-hmm. He pulls a Michi from Gaim.
God damn it. Yeah, good episode. We got Ronan the Accuser. We get Marvel.
Yeah, I love Ronan's stocky ass design in this show.
I love how he is very much like a regal spiritual leader for the Kree.
Mm-hmm.
Because like they're all in like fucking like armor and shit, and he's just in like robes.
Yeah, he's like, I'm here to do a job for the priesthood. Get the fuck out of my way.
Great Carol design.
Yeah, this is probably my favorite Miss Marvel costume of hers, and I think it translated to animation really well.
Yeah, I here's the thing. Yeah, sure, the black swimsuit is a great Miss Marvel design. The red works. She needs red.
Mm-hmm.
The red just works. Also, we get a little bit of what's the other name she went by?
Warbird.
Yeah, we get a little bit of Warbird in there too at the end when she's fighting Ronan.
Uh-huh.
Which is cool.
I love the Avengers dynamic in this episode where they're just kind of the other guys, and Tony is constantly being perplexed by Scrollcap's behavior.
Oh yeah, no, it is the most blatant. Like, you watch this and you just like, why? Knowing Cap's a Skrull, knowing that twist this whole time makes this whole thing fucking great.
I can't believe Vac didn't encounter Abigail Brand before Krakoa. Aki, I didn't really read X-Men comics before Krakoa. I found them very impenetrable.
Krakoa was a great, just like, beginning place for a lot of that stuff.
Uh-huh.
Good episode. The animation quality was top notch.
Mm-hmm.
It was
good Hulk gags.
Good Hulk gags. It was very much a Carol episode, though. The other people were there for like brief moments.
It's really an episode just to establish the Kree Skrull animosity and get Carol on the team.
Mm-hmm. Get Carol on the team, hint at other things, because we do see a little snippet of Kang in jail.
Yeah.
And he's just like, shit. The fucking stuff I know is gonna happen's happening. Fuck.
Mm-hmm. Does he ever like have a "Hey, I can help you" moment, or is that the last time we see him?
I think I don't know. That might be the last time we see him until like his plan. I think he's the end season finale.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I looked a little bit ahead. Next episode's probably Scott Lang.
Ooh.
Because the title's like To Steal an Ant-Man or something.
Oh boy.
And it's like, yeah, Scotty.
I mean, it's going to be a minute before we can do that episode on the show, but I'm very excited.
Yeah. But no, good episode, fun episode. Nice to see the Kree.
Yeah. Nice to see a solid adaptation of Carol right from the jump.
Yeah. Fucking Carol as a character has just been through so much dumb shit having to fucking exist.
Carol, like, we'll probably talk about this more later, but Carol Danvers is one of those characters who, like, is in this perpetual cycle of something really stupid happens with her, and then she spends years making up for it in the mind of comic readers, and then she finally gets to a place where people who aren't hardcore fans of her go like, "Ah, Carol's all right," and then they fuck her up again.
Yeah. It's because the first one's definitely Avengers 200.
Yeah.
And then the next one is the coma from Rogue.
Mm-hmm.
Where
And
it's
then
not even like
Civil
people
War
were
2.
like mad at Carol. It's just like she wasn't around, so nobody could get interested in Carol Danvers.
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh, who? Then Civil War 1 happened. She just existed. She was a body.
Yeah. And then Civil War 2.
You should never forgive Marvel and Bendis for Civil War 2.
I won't. The tie-ins were pretty good, but I didn't make the event worth it.
No. It is the epitome of first draft idea.
Mm-hmm.
It is the epitome of editorial going like, hey, we need something to tie into the Civil War movie that's happening.
Yeah, it's the epitome of, all right, what have we got?
Yeah. And like, here's the thing. All right, what do we got? Has created some good comics in the past. The death of Superman was an all right, what do we got comic. But I would say at this point in time, it is an important and good comic.
Yeah.
I mean, at the time, it was overblown and overwritten by just like an entire year of 4 other issues of 4 Supermen no one gave a shit about.
Yeah.
I mean, people like Superboy and Steel now, but
I think it's nostalgia allowing those characters to get an opportunity for good storytelling now.
yeah, and it's just a lot of little things.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing. I am hoping this next Avengers run will be the stuff for Carol that we want it to be, because we got that preview.
It really does seem like we're getting to a point where Carol is going to be a character that people go, yeah, Carol's all right again.
Because that preview, I'm pretty sure you read the preview too.
I did not.
They did a little preview of just like, hey, here's some pages from the next Avengers of Carol saying, hey, we're not an army, we're not the police force, we're the firefighters.
I saw you posting those panels, but that's all I saw.
Yeah. Bad character assassination for character that was perfectly set up. Marvel's Wonder Woman. Yeah, that should be what I think. Wonder Woman is an apt comparison, but not an apt like 1-to-1. She is Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like that panel I was just mentioning. She's a firefighter.
Yeah.
She keeps an eye on things. She wants things to be safe. She wants to make sure the rules are followed so things are safe. And if things get lit on fire, she will save the day.
Yeah.
And like, you can even link that to bad characterizations of Carol, like Civil War 2. She was looking at that like a firefighter. She was going like, oh, we can know when the fires are about to go. Not even thinking about the human ramifications of it all. Like
she also has that problem that a lot of female characters suffer from in modern day of like, she's supposed to be fully self-confident and capable, but not annoyingly so. And a lot of writers just can't handle that.
And a lot, like, they even can't handle that with some men. Like, some male characters are just too overly confident. And some are just totally
some Iron Man runs are annoying because of that. Some Thor runs are annoying because of that.
I mean, and when you understand that dynamic of, like, understanding the unconfidence, it's good. It's worked. Carol's recent run has been amazing. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I've heard people generally liked it, but I haven't looked into it at all.
I may look into it if given a chance, but I'm excited for the Avengers because, hey, it's a mix of classic with a little bit of new, and it's not trying to rock the boat and do anything like have a Ghost Rider and Blade on the team. It's like,
yeah,
you don't need Ghost Rider, you don't need Blade.
You also don't need to be living in the body of a fucking whatever the fuck, I forget the term.
Celestial.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they can't anymore. It's rotting.
Yeah.
That's where the heretics are now. The eternal heretics.
Mm.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, Judgment Day ends with one of the Eternals basically becoming a new god and
Yeah.
taking some of the Eternals and going like, all right, we fundamentally disagree with our religious beliefs. We're doing something new and becoming heretics, which I think is cool. Yeah. So how have you been, Vec?
I've been all right.
Yeah.
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 Oh God.
Uh,
I'm gonna be excited when like I can actually be looking forward to a new Avengers issue.
yeah, let's hope that time's coming.
Because if they can get Avengers up and running at like everybody genuinely likes the Avengers, the only book they'll have left to like get up to that level is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, come on, Marvel. It's also not that hard to fix Spider-Man. Like, me and Vat can come up with 30 different ways to fix Spider-Man right now.
I have literally fought about 5 times since you started souring on the Wells run. Like, we should just do a video called How to Fix Spider-Man.
It should be 1,001 ways to fix Spider-Man. It's just 1,001 different pitches.
We each record ourselves like coming up with as many pitches as we can on the spot, and then we edit it together to like rapid fire back and forth between us.
You may be seeing a video, guys.
Mm.
Oh, like, come on. Come
It
on.
might be collabing time in May. We'll see.
It'd be it's too easy to fix Spider-Man. That's why all the writers fuck him up, because it's too easy to write Spider-Man. They're going like, oh man, how do I write the most dog shit Spider-Man possible?
Uh-huh. They're all
That's the
trying to
challenge.
challenge themselves. Ever since, you know what? This is really all Joe Quesada's fault. Breaking up the marriage, getting rid of the challenge of writing a married couple, which was just so hard, apparently. It made everybody have to find a new challenge when writing Spider-Man, and that's writing shitty Spider-Man.
They just sit down and go like, how am I gonna write the most dog shit Spider-Man possible and make it just passable enough that people think I'm frying? God.
We're sour.
And there's not even a Spider-Man issue to talk about this week.
There is. It's just not that Spider-Man.
I'm trying to remember what did we both read it?
I don't know, did you?
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
But hey, guess what?
It's news time.
Disney Plus has a American Sign Language version for Ant-Man.
Yeah, nice little step forward, I think.
I did see some people go like, but what about closed captions? Isn't that like a thing? And people were like, it's a different language and a different context, and certain people like it better that for it instead. It's like, yeah, that's fair enough.
It's the same thing as like somebody might speak English, but if their native tongue is friggin' Japanese or Cantonese, they're gonna want to speak Japanese or Cantonese if they can.
Yeah, it's just it's a way. It's just another way for people to enjoy a movie. Perfectly fine, perfectly valid. I hope they do it for other movies, not just Marvel stuff, but do it for all the animated stuff. Put a person on a green screen. There you go.
Yeah, start rolling that out for everything you've already.
You know what?
got on
After
there.
this, I'm gonna pop it on just to see what it looks like because I'm curious.
Yeah,
I'm just curious to see what it is, how it works. Next up, Marvel Studios Echo series may have finalized release window. That's cool.
So basically, what happened? Because this is not confirmed; it's a rumor.
Mm-hmm.
Based on the fact that Marvel Comics is putting out a new omnibus of like all of the original Echo comics. And it was going to come out in, I believe, February of next year, but now it's been pushed forward to, oh God, was it? I want to say it was September or October.
Either way, that might be a connection. Might not be. We don't know.
Mhm.
But hey, cool. If we get Echo, we get Echo.
Yeah.
She was fun in Hawkeye.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I can see them doing some interesting stuff with her. All right, what else do we got? Whoa, we got a trailer for the Marvels.
Yeah, this was the big thing this week, I think. A lot of people getting excited for or getting bent out of shape about this. Uh, I think it looks pretty good. I actually am more interested in this movie uh, now than I was beforehand, and I'm more interested for it than I remember being interested for Captain Marvel. It just looks like a fun team movie, um, and I really like the mechanic they're playing with of having all three of them constantly switching places.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I like Carol's new costume since we were talking about Carol's costume earlier.
Yeah.
I like what feels like it's gonna be their dynamic of Carol and Monica are kind of like semi jaded adults, and Kamala's just gonna be like, guys, we're superheroes. That's
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah, really cool that they got Kamala's supporting cast in, even if it's for one scene.
Oh yeah. Uh but it's like it's interesting, it looks fun. It looks like it's gonna be a fun rock roaring time.
Yeah, the like even Brie Larson. Like I am one of the people who's like, I don't think Brie Larson's a bad actor. I've liked her in other things. I just thought she was the wrong pick for Carol Danvers. I've always had that opinion. But even Brie Larson is doing a lot better job in this than she has in previous appearances. I like the sort of goofy, like thrown for a loop by all of these other people showing up attitude she's bringing in this trailer.
It feels very much like if you look at how she kind of acted in her own movie and the Avengers stuff, it feels very much of like she has to be in control. And now that she's being pushed out of that element, we are actually seeing Carol in a more humanistic light,
Yeah,
which is going to make the character much more appetizing because
it
realistically,
plays much more to Brie Larson's strengths too.
yeah, realistically, what we got so far with Captain Marvel is Martian Manhunter. It's the person
Mhm.
who's like alien and aloof and it's kind of keeping humanity at an arm's length.
Yeah.
And
And that
now,
was always my problem with the first movie and with Brie Larson as her in general is I just didn't buy her playing that kind of character. I didn't think she was very good at that
mhm.
specific role.
But with this, I'm just excited because even on a bare minimum, Miss Marvel, just being there fangirling is going to lighten both of their characters up.
Yeah. Also, welcome to the show, Nightmare.
Yeah, because like Monica doesn't need lightening up as a character. It's
Hmm.
just we need to see more of her.
Yeah. We already like her. And it seems like in this, she's going to be the midpoint between jaded, cynical space lady Carol and excited, optimistic, young, peppy Kamala.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be good. I'm trying to remember. What did they say? What Monica's superhero name in the MCU is? Is it Photon?
Photon.
They are doing Photon. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Overall, looks like it's going to be fun.
It's pretty good. And it's also hilarious that it's now the most disliked Marvel trailer on YouTube because y'all are still fucking sour over the fact that Captain Marvel is in the MCU for some reason.
Also, I like Monica's costume. Looks like her 80s 90s Avengers costume,
Yeah.
just without the arm swoopies.
Hmm.
But you know what? I'm a little sad at the loss of arm swoopies, but it's fine. Deadpool 3 is bringing back Morena Baccarin's Vanessa and Stefan Kapik's Colossus.
Yeah. So last or a week or two ago, I can't remember how long, we talked about Vanessa's actress being interviewed and saying like she was in talks. Now it's confirmed, and it's also confirmed that Colossus's actor is coming back. We're getting the return of wholesome doofus Colossus. I'm excited.
Yeah. You know what? It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to see all these people wrap up Deadpool.
See them interact with MCU characters. See them interact with actual Hugh Jackman Wolverine.
Yeah. It's gonna we you know what? We're gonna have Colossus and Wolverine in a movie. We may get a full on true the book speedball special.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds, do not let us down there.
We may get a full on fastball special.
Oh my God, what if the opening scene is just the X-Men on a mission, getting a bunch of actors back to cameo, and then Deadpool shows up and fucks it up?
There's too many things. I just thought of the perfect mid-credit scene for the Deadpool 3. If they're like leaving, if like part of the story is them leaving the Fox universe behind, of the mid-credit scene is you just see a little flower creak up from the dirt and it looks like a weird tropical flower, and Deadpool just comes in and stomps on it and goes, "No, we're not doing Krakoa. This universe is dead. We're in the MCU now."
Yeah.
Because I think
That'd be fun.
that'd just be a dumb cute. Because that was the big joke with the X-Men. It's like they always left a cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, guess what? We got another person joining the Blade movie. X and Pearl star Mia Goth. Cool.
I've literally never heard of this lady. I was just like, okay, we don't know who she's playing. She's just in the movie.
She's gonna be in the movie. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Superman star Valerie Pernin launches GoFundMe to help cover Park. Oh, Parkinson's.
Yeah, this is a little unfortunate.
Yeah.
For those of you who aren't aware, Valerie Perrin played Miss Tessmacher in the original Superman the movie. And she recently got a Parkinson's diagnosis, like an official one. She's been suffering from it a long time. And she's looking into getting treatment, and she is looking for funding to help back it up. When I checked earlier today, the GoFundMe was still a couple $1,000s off its goal. So I would recommend anybody who has the money and can spare it to go ahead and throw a few bucks her way.
Yeah, it's at 61,000 right now. It needs 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a shame.
Yeah.
Time for the most nothing news, period.
Yeah.
HBO Max Discovery Plus streaming service, officially titled Max.
Oh my God. We're finally getting an adaptation of Sam Keefe's The Max again.
Not over Sam Keith's dead body.
No, yeah, this has been a whole thing with like the company restructuring and whatnot. We've known they wanted to do something to tidy up the streaming service program for a while now, and they just they decided like, okay, Discovery Plus and HBO Max are one thing now, and it's all just called Max, and it's gonna relaunch at the beginning of next month. And anybody who's already getting free HBO Max through AT&T will still have that, but anyone who wants to sign up now, you're not going to get grandfathered in like that.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah, I'm slightly tempted to sign up just because I'm finally optimistic for DC shit again.
I give it like a year before you do that. Let some actual things happen. Max debuts May 23rd. 3 price ranges with ads $9.99, ad free $15.99, unlimited ultimate ad free $19.99.
What's the difference between ad free and ultimate ad free?
I think if I am a betting man, ad free will take off certain ads. Ultimate ad free will take off the rest.
Yeah.
Like ad free is taking off other people's ads. Like you're not gonna get tied. Ultimate ad free takes away HBO Max ads. Like we're not also gonna try and get you to watch other stuff.
Okay. Aki, this is going to be very confusing in other countries where Sony has a grip on the Max name and branding. I didn't even know about that. That's interesting.
Yeah. Dear God, the fucking tweet right below it. Pluto TV.
Oh
$0.
yeah. I did see that today. Um, the other thing that's interesting is just like the other names they considered were just calling it HBO, just calling it WB, or calling it Warner Bros.
Oh no, the, HBO Max gave the answer. Good question. The ultimate ad-free tier differs from ad-free in that it will include streaming in HK, 4K UHD and Dolby Atmos, streaming on 4 devices at once, and up to 100 offline downloads across services. So basically, it's like it's just more for the service, and like if you have a 4K UHD TV, you might want that service.
Yeah, in other words, to quote the 01 driver, it's high quality.
Yeah, you know what? Understandable. Have a nice day. That's not a like because most people don't have fucking 4K televisions, but if you do, you're gonna want content in 4K.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fair. I can see that. I can see the reasoning behind that. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, and it probably costs more money to broadcast that way.
Yeah. New Flash trailer confirmed ahead of first screening. All right. Cool.
Yeah, so Flash is actually going to debut at a film festival in a couple weeks, and the same day that that screening is going to be held, a new trailer is going to drop for everybody in the rest of the world who can't go to that screening, which will be on the 24th.
Oh.
Yeah, 2 weeks from now.
All right. Neat and cool. Whatever.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when it happens.
God, hold on. My fucking headphone cable got caught on shit. I couldn't move. Batman, HBO Penguin Max, Penguin, series cast Fantastic Four star Carmen Giogo, and High Fidelity album David H. Holmes in reoccurring roles. All right.
Yep. Another casting news where I'm like, I don't know these people. I don't know actors. You didn't say who they're playing. Okay.
All right, cool. It's Penguin.
Mm-hmm.
It's Penguin, baby.
Yeah.
We do got a trailer for it though. I didn't know about this.
They put out a trailer. I believe this was on Monday or Tuesday. And what's really interesting to me about this is that there's a lot of behind the scenes shots in this. Because they're advertising it as like this is in production now. And like there's interview footage of Colin Farrell being like, it's so great to bring this character to life and all that generic bullshit actors say. So like this is a trailer in that like you get some lines from the show and you're seeing like what the show is going to look like generally, which, hey, guess what? It looks like Matt Reeves is the Batman, and they're talking about similar stuff that the gangsters in that movie already were. But it's also just kind of weird in that it also comes off like a behind the scenes featurette.
Yeah. You know what? It's not bad. That's not a bad way to like hype up, especially for Matt Reeves' Batman, which is very much a cinema bro kind of Batman.
Mm-hmm.
To get them hyped of like, oh, look at this behind the scenes stuff. It's like, oh yeah, that's cool. You know?
Yeah, and it does look pretty good. I've gone from a place of like, God, who asked for that? It's like Peacemaker, but it's happening a lot earlier because I did it the week Peacemaker came out with that show. With this, I've kind of like slowly over the last few months gone from who the fuck asked for that? I'm not gonna watch that too. Yeah, I'll give that a look when it happens.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. I'll give the first episode a watch.
Yeah, we might do it on this show. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. If there's nothing else that's more like candy hype inducing, we'll watch that.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? It's like if there's like giant shiny dangly shit over there, we'll talk about the shiny dangly shit.
If it doesn't get counter programmed by Echo.
In the meantime, we do have a full cast list for Creature Commandos.
Yeah, this also dropped on Tuesday, and it was a pleasant surprise, I would think. Some people are a little upset about Rick Flag being recast.
Well, it's not Rick Flag being recast. This is Rick Flag being cast.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because it's Rick Flag Sr. Rick Flag Jr. was in Suicide Squad.
Yep.
But and I've also seen people very upset about this actor in specific, because apparently he's a bit of a dickhead. I haven't heard of him doing anything like actually illegal or morally reprehensible, just like apparently he acts like a bit of a dickhead. And people didn't like how he came off in interviews about his role as Crossbones in the MCU. But I'm like, whatever, as long as he's not being an actual secret asshole and he's doing his job, then fine. Also, friggin' we won, boys. David Herber as Eric Frankenstein.
Nice. David Herber is great. Sean Gunn playing double duty. He's going to be the Weasel and G.I. Robot.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Alan Tudyk as Dr. Phosphorus.
Oh, man. Alan Tudyk, you know that boy's a good voice actor, and you know he'll be down to do some live action stuff as that character, too.
Oh, yeah. Especially because it looks like it's going to be a lot of, if you do it in live action, a lot of like mocap and, oh, don't worry about makeup.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know. But yeah, no, I don't recognize the other names as well.
Yeah.
I
Well,
might
fine.
recognize their faces if I saw them. Like, oh, I know, I've seen her in something.
Probably. But, like, friggin' perfect casting for Eric Frankenstein right there.
Yeah. But, you know, it's exciting to see. I was seeing if someone posted pictures of the actors. Have been so bad that if you're a dick, it's fine as long as you don't do fucky shit. Yeah.
We can agree on that, Aki. But yeah, no, this is a solid cast.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this show.
Yeah. Next up we have DC Studios co-head James Gunn says that Peacemaker Season 2 will come out after his 2025 DC Universe Superman Legacy. All right.
How many fucking times do we have to keep teaching you this lesson, clickbait article makers? Because literally, this is like the third time we've reported this. Because the rumors started circling again that Peacemaker was canceled because Gunn was too busy with so many other things after the Creature Commandos casting came out. And somebody just added him and said, "Is this true?" And he goes, "No, I've said this before. It's coming out after Superman Legacy." And I think somebody asked him about some other rumor today, and he said, "Guys, maybe if you stopped believing rumors and just only listened to what me and Peter tell you, we'd have a lot less confusion going on here. Because if it comes from me or Peter or an official Warner Brothers account, then it's the truth. Otherwise, I would say, don't believe it."
Yeah.
Like, even James Gunn is getting fed up with having to answer these questions, people.
You know, and like, it's like, at least he's not also just going like, yo, fuck off. He's going like, no, here's how you can counteract misinformation and keep an eye on things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's telling them how to fucking do their, he's telling them how to be better people.
Yeah.
Good on you, James Gunn.
How to have common fucking sense.
But yeah, no. And here's the thing. He probably doesn't even want to work on Peacemaker Season 2 until Superman's out. Because Superman's going to set what the DC Universe is going to be like going forward. And it's better to work off a foundation than off of nothing.
Yeah. Like, I'm sure he had plans in mind after Season 1. But also, things might look radically different after Legacy. And he'll want to adjust accordingly.
Yeah. It's all up in the air. And Peacemaker's not a show that you can create a foundation for a comics universe off of.
Uh-huh.
It's a response show. And that's all for those news.
That's the adaptation news, everybody. Sorry. I know that I've noticed so far in the stream, we're not as enthusiastic as usual. It's just because we're a little late tonight, and it's because, again, I'm under the weather. So bear with us here. We're just trying to get you.
I had a very big fucking weekend, so I'm still. I wouldn't say recovering, but I'm trying to build up my spoons.
Yeah, we're still here though. We're doing our job. We're doing our level best to get you the news and our hot takes on it.
The hottest of hot takes.
Like, that sure is a casting.
That is sure an actor person.
Y'all are fine. Thank you, Nightmare. I'm gonna mute my mic to blow my nose for a second.
Oh my god, blowing nose? How could you? I don't know. At some level, you just gotta throw jokes in the air and see what works. There's a fucking frog that's so small it doesn't have the inner ear stuff to keep balance. So when it just fucking jumps wildly and it lands on its head. I just thought that was really cute.
That is cute. But also, while you were saying that, Jesus. I tried to blow my nose, and then I started coughing, and then I burped while I was coughing. It was the most disgusting thing that I've ever done as a human bodily function.
And then you shit, pissed, and cummed yourself.
Not yet.
No, you need to choke yourself out to do that as well.
We need people to be weather over the weather. I'm trying, Aki. I'm really trying here.
You scared your cousins today? Oh no, how could you? So, on with the news. Peter David's family provides update on legendary comic creators' health problems.
Yeah, so I'll summarize here. Again, if you're not aware, Peter David had, I believe, a heart issue during the holidays, and his spouse put up a GoFundMe, which was incredibly successful. But she also put up something saying, like, an update to the GoFundMe this week, saying that all the money for this is basically paying their bills and keeping them afloat right now. It's what's keeping them from being out on the street and that kind of stuff, because they didn't really have any savings, because comic creating doesn't pay well, folks. But also really interesting, apparently Marvel has been going to bat for him like crazy and got him Disney health insurance.
You know what, if Marvel does that for a lot more of the, I think George Perez fucking was their wake up call for that.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going like, oh man, we could have done a lot more for George and we didn't. Or hopefully, maybe they'll start doing more. But we'll continue on, Peter David.
Mm-hmm. That's basically it. He's in good spirits now. He's in recovery right now. He should be able to get back to work in a couple of months, and Marvel is just like keeping him on reserve right now.
You know what? Perfectly cool. Good on Marvel for just going like, yo, here's health insurance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it shouldn't have had to come to that. It's good in the same way of like, oh, the entire castle's burned down. But this horse is alive.
Yeah, I kind of said this about another thing with another company today. I mean, it's still not great, but it's the best I've ever heard of this situation going before.
Yeah. Hopefully they start doing it for a lot more classic creators and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we have Avengers reveals first look at new villains, the Ashen Combine.
Yeah, these are apparently going to be new villains introduced in the opening arc of that Avengers comic that's going to be starting up pretty soon, we talked about. And they look like some spooky dukes.
They look really cool. I love how some of them look like angels.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's going to be hard to make Marvel Legends of most of these guys.
Oh, yeah, but this guy's fucking hype, though.
Uh-huh.
You know? This looks like a Bayonetta villain. Like a Bayonetta enemy.
Mm.
The Dead... Also, I just realized I'm not sharing my screen with you, so you don't know what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I'm just kind of going off of the stream, which is a little delayed.
Yeah. Hold on.
Oh, Hell didn't really scare their cousins. They impressed them by running fast.
You're gonna have to reset your camera again. Oh wait, never mind.
Ow.
You're not gonna have to. It's working again. You're getting.
Oh, okay.
Everybody's getting a double dose of VAC right now.
Oh boy, the best double you can get. It's better than a KFC triple double.
Is it better than a double down?
It's a close contest, but I think it is better.
Is it a Common Rider double?
Ooh. I don't know. I'm not as fancy as what's his fucking name? Shotaro.
Okay. There you should be seeing the stream. There you go.
Hey.
Okay, cool. Boop, boop, boop.
Excelente.
There we go. Oh, nope. Hold on. Give it a second. Your camera feed cut out again.
Oh, Jesus.
No, scared. They had fear in their eyes for challenging me. You fucking talking like Doctor Doom.
All right, I'm going to turn it off and back on again.
Yeah. I see you. Do you see the camera feed?
I do.
All right, cool. We also got the Dead. He looks cool.
Yeah.
City Smith.
City Smith and like the owl looking one are the ones that I'm like, I don't know how you're going to make a figure of that.
Oh, I can definitely see a figure of this.
Yeah, that could be a
Diadem.
Build-A-Figure.
You are the Doom. They're a cool looking bunch.
Yeah, bunch of just cool looking spooky dukes who will ensure royalties for this writer should they end up in the MCU.
Yeah. I was actually watching a video about like, oh, why doesn't Marvel use the Ultraverse characters? And the whole big rumor behind why they don't use the Ultraverse characters is they don't want to pay royalties. Because part of the contract for the Ultraverse writers was they would have royalties for those characters in perpetuity. And the person pointed out, it's like, yeah, but Marvel does that now. They give royalties for like certain characters and certain things. So like they're willing to pay that now. Like that's not the issue. They just don't want to use them, I guess. I you know what, Marvel, if I ever come right for you, I'm pitching you some Ultraverse books. Let's bring back Prime.
Remind me again, what the fuck is the Ultraverse?
Malibu.
Oh yeah.
Okay, it was another attempt at a superhero comics universe, but it was published by Malibu. If you don't know who Malibu is, Malibu was a major independent publisher, late 80s, early 90s.
Didn't Liefeld have some involvement with them?
No.
Okay.
Image, the first few months of Image were published through Malibu before they could get their own stuff up and running. So the books were published and put through Malibu until Image was fully formed. Like I can open up my first issue of Savage Dragon, and in the inside cover it says co-published by Malibu.
Interesting.
Malibu is also the company that published and did the Men in Black comics that the movies are based off of. So that's why whenever you see Men in Black, it says based off Men in Black, a Marvel comic. Yeah, you probably never noticed it.
When is Will Smith gonna debut in the MCU?
Who would you want Will Smith to play in the MCU?
I'd want him to play his character from Men in Black.
Okay. No, Jay. J. Hey, guess what? Marvel announced an X-Men spinoff series, Children of the Vault.
Yeah, we got a bunch of Fall X titles that got announced this week. And this is one that's about the people that are stuck in the vault getting out and stirring some shit up.
And Bishop and Cable have to fight them.
Yeah. Let me see. Who the fuck is writing this?
Written by Dennis Camp. No, it's not a bad idea. Sure, whatever. Yeah. Let's read it and see what we think.
Yeah, hopefully it's good.
We could have beaten Thanos by having him say Will's wife's name.
Yeah.
Alpha Flight returns for an X-Men Fall of X. Alpha Flight.
Yeah.
Look at them Canadians.
5-issue mini. Going to be written by Ed Burson of the Predator comics and a recent New Mutants run. Should be interesting because I don't think Alpha Flight have really gotten much of a spotlight at all in the last 5 years. Last thing I remember them doing is being Carol Danvers' backup team when she was leading Sword.
Yeah. Something interesting about this cover. The 4 people we see in the front is a magic user, a magic user, a magic user, and a cyborg. And all the
Hmm.
mutants are in behind in shadow.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. And boy, that Alpha Flight logo looks like it's rusty, isn't it, buds?
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if that means anything. Uh, buddy. Nightcrawler transforms into the Uncanny Spider-Man for X-Men's Fall of X. So we were all speculating on what does Uncanny Spider-Man mean.
A
This is what
lot
it
of
means.
people were really worried they were going to retcon Peter to be a mutant.
Here's the thing: at this point in time, it'd be a fucking blessing because then the X team would be writing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But
But no, this is Cy Spurrier continuing his amazing run on Nightcrawler, starting all the way back at what was it? Oh God, oh I can't remember the name of it. The book before Legion of X, that was
yeah,
Legion of X as well.
yeah.
But
I know what you're talking about.
like he's been basically doing a big arc for Nightcrawler ever since then, and this is going to be the next chapter of it, of Nightcrawler becoming a pseudo Spider-Man character for a little bit during the Fall of X, and people are already hype as fuck about this book. This is the only one I had seen before I went looking for news today, because everybody who remotely likes Nightcrawler or Spider-Man on my feed has gone, "That's a cool idea. That's a good ass writer. Dan Yoon, when are we getting a Marvel Legends of this suit?"
You know what? With all of what Nightcrawler's been doing, I know exactly what it is. He's like, the spark is good. All the spiritual stuff we've been working on is good, but there's something missing. And then he talks to Spider-Man and he goes like, "Oh yeah. Great power, great responsibility." What? Well, with great power comes great responsibility. What? Great power? You're a genius, my man. Can I be Spider-Man for a bit to learn? Sure. Sweet. I'm gonna go be Spider-Man. See ya.
That'd be pretty cool.
And it's like him
Um,
going on a like learning about like the Spider-Man mantra and trying to like figure out how to incorporate it into mutant kind, because that's the big thing with mutants is like it's just like they have all this power, they don't have this internal sense of responsibility,
hmm.
you know. And I could see that being cool.
Yeah.
Or he may just be taking a vacation.
Or it may just be like a weird reality warp thing.
Yeah. I did see some people go, in Buster Server specifically, going like, "Oh man, why didn't you call him Wallcrawler? There's already a character called Wallcrawler."
Yeah.
He was in the Nightcrawler's Sins of Sinister thing,
Uh-huh.
so they can repurpose it. Star Wars: Tales from the Death Star. First look. Is this just a workplace comedy of all the people working in the Death Star?
No, this is a horror anthology set in the Death Star.
Oh,
And
neat.
it's an OGN that's going to be coming out in July, I believe.
Neat, cool. You know what? I'm
Yeah.
glad they're doing a lot of cool stuff with the Star Wars comics.
Hmm.
Star Wars Dark Droids announced.
This is going to be the next big crossover event in the Star Wars comics that will take place over the summer. This is still in the Charles Soule era, and I don't. There's been no talk of like this being the finale of his run. This is just the next chapter. And the story is between the events of Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, a virus sweeps all across the galaxy and makes the droids turn on their owners.
You mean like what just happened in Mandalorian episode 5?
Yep.
How old would Mando be? We could see an early 20s Mando.
Mm.
I have the Mandalorian comics done anything different? Because I read
No,
the first.
all there's been is just like adaptations of the show that are beat for beat.
Shame. You could do so much with a Mando comic.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably like some things where like legally they're not allowed to yet.
Yeah, but I might check out Dark Droids. It sounds like a fun premise and might be a good like jumping on point for the Star Wars comics. We'll see what's going on.
Well, DC announced a brand new event, Night Terrors.
Yeah, they actually announced this several months ago, but they did like a big rollout of like, okay, this event starts in July, so here's the solicitations for the first few issues and all of the tie-ins. There was a fuck ton of tie-ins happening for this. There's going to be not just Night Terror's Batman and Superman, but also Night Terror's Action Comics and Detective Comics. There's obviously Night Terror's Wonder Woman. There's going to be a Harley Quinn book. There's going to be a Green Lantern, and the most interesting one. There's going to be a Zatanna Night Terrors tie-in from the writer of the new Doom Patrol book that will feature Zatanna teaming up with Robot Man.
This is neat. A lot of these covers look really, really good. Oh my god, Dead Man Batman fusion.
Hmm.
That's cool.
Like, I'm not like super hype about this event because, as I've said, I'm not really a horror guy, but it seems like they're having a good amount of fun with it. So I'm not gonna do the thing I stupidly did with Dark Crisis and say like, yeah, I'll read everything so I can keep Boingo and everyone else informed. But like, I'll dip my toes in and see what it's about. I'll give
Okay,
every book a shot.
Vac, I want you to look at this little monster dude right here above Batman
Uh huh.
and tell me that doesn't look like a fucking monster from Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, I can kind of see it.
Yeah, a lot of these covers look really good. It's
Hmm.
cool to see Dead Man show up and do some stuff. Straight up the Chainsaw Man bad guy.
My God.
Yeah. Oh my god, that classic fucking logo.
Hmm.
It's
That's a
great.
good variant right there.
Yeah. Oh, and
There's going to be a Joker tie-in, and the joke is that his nightmare is being a fucking normie.
yeah, like a lot of these look really good. I'm interested to see what happens.
Hmm. Look at those gals being pals.
Yeah. A lot of it looks really good. And there was one thing I wanted to fucking mention. Reminds you, yeah. There was a fucking where is it? It's right here. This fucking cover, hype. It looks badass.
It looks like Junji Ito body horror.
Yeah, looks great. Yeah. Night Terror's event reveals new superhero one shots. Yeah, so
Yeah, this is again just all the tie-ins.
yeah, just some all this kind of stuff. Some good art.
Yeah.
Looks neat. Oh Jesus, it's cool. All right. Announces two Superman and Teen Titans series written by Mark Waid.
Yeah, again, a lot of stuff coming out of the July solicitations this week. One of which is Wade's doing a Black Label book called The Last Days of Lex Luthor, um, which I'm guessing is just Lex realizes he's dying and it's about him and Superman dealing with it. Uh, and then there's going to be a spin-off of World's Finest about the frickin' Silver Age Teen Titans.
That's great. Also, what was her name in fucking the Teen
Bumblebee.
Titans? What?
Bumblebee.
She was Bumblebee? Okay.
Yeah. And people are really hype about Bumblebee getting a spotlight in a comic again, too.
God damn, that is a hype ass version of Silver Age Robin costume.
Yeah.
That is a perfect modernization.
I'm definitely going to be checking both of these out. Like I've really come to trust Wade again in the last couple months, and like I enjoy World's Finest. I enjoy seeing the Fab Five in that comic, and I enjoy his take on Superman. So I think we're going to have a good time with both of these books.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'll give them a check out.
Mhm.
New Batman Beyond series confirmed for summer.
Yeah, there's going to be I think it might be another mini series. We don't have full details yet, but it's just the same creative team who did the Batman Beyond Neo Gotham event are going to be bringing the book back in the summer. And just for a refresher for you guys, this isn't straight up like the show. They've done a lot to Batman Beyond ever since introducing him to the DC Comics universe in the 2010s. Currently, the status quo is he has a new suit that's slightly different from the one in the comics, uh, and Terry's little brother has become Robin Beyond.
Neat. Yeah. It looks like it's gonna be cool. It looks like it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, hopefully it is good.
Yeah. Harley Quinn, Black and White, Red are announced by DC. Is this just a new anthology series?
Yeah, it's a sequel to the Black, White, and Red series. That's just Black, White, and Redder. It's another anthology series about Harley Quinn short stories.
That's fine.
Yeah, hopefully they're good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't read the first one.
Jeffy,
I'm not sure.
an artist for Mad Magazine, artist. He dies at 102. Damn.
Yeah,
Legend.
one of
King.
the oldest living comics artists is no longer with us. And he also pioneered the fold-in style of comic, which is where it would be one page and then you fold the page together to get a different story.
Yeah. Classic stuff. A Tale as Old as Time for Mad Magazine, which sadly isn't the state that it used to be in. It's still being published by DC, but it ain't the Mad of the past.
Mm-hmm. And like again, this is another one where we can definitely say this dude lived a long and full life.
Yeah. And Mad Magazine is probably one of the most important comics publications to have happened in America.
Mm-hmm.
Comixology veterans launch creator-owned publisher. How do you want to say that?
I have no fucking idea, and I couldn't find a pronunciation anywhere this afternoon.
Distillery.
Yeah. Apparently, this is going to be just like a new home for creator owned titles. Like they don't have any specific books announced yet. They're just like, hey, this is a thing we're doing. This is our next project. There's going to be both physical and online retail sources for this. Uh, the way they word their online structuring is kind of interesting because it sounds like they might have other comics besides the ones they're publishing listed there. Like this could potentially be a replacement for Comixology now that it's fucking broken. But I also am not gonna hold out hope for that because it might just be like they didn't word it correctly. Um, and obviously, hey, the industry being healthy enough to support a new independent publisher is always a cool thing to see.
Yeah.
Um, hopefully their books are cool and interesting, and we can talk about some of them on the future of the show.
I mean, we've been seeing a lot more independent publishers pop up in the last few years.
Yeah. Hopefully they get like a cool license or two at some point. Like, oh, I just had a crazy thought.
Yeah.
What if that's where Hasbro puts Transformers and G.I. Joe?
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, the people who are making it have industry backing. Like they have industry experience. They're not a brand new startup. It's like, hey, we have experience doing this. So
We're just breaking off to do a different thing.
yeah.
And I think that would give Hasbro the reassurance to invest in a young company, which they already liked doing with the comics anyways.
I mean, that's what they did with Dreamwave. That was our Dreamwave and IDW are the same company, right?
In a very loose sense, because Dreamwave, the guy who ran Dreamwave was an asshole who got ran out of the industry, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And a few people who were higher ups at Dreamwave founded IDW. It's not technically the same company, but the DNA is similar.
The way basically, Dreamwave happened, and then they were like, "All right, fold it down and take all the parts and build IDW."
Mm-hmm.
It's built out of the parts of Dreamwave, but it is not Dreamwave.
Yeah.
Because I always saw IDW as just like Dreamwave kind of thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're similar names. Either way, that's it for the comic news. You ready for some toys?
Always ready for toys.
Hey, guess what? We're getting an animated Gambit.
Yeah, Mondo teased their 1/6 scale animated Gambit. Probably going to get full solicitations for this next week, but as is, it's looking pretty tight.
Yeah. Fucking Gambit. Gambit's one of the best dudes ever. Who doesn't love Gambit?
I think he's all right, but I don't love him.
How dare you?
Sorry.
You're not going to get invited to the Country Boil.
Oh, well.
Marvel Legends Scroll Queen Super Scroll 2-pack.
Yeah, this is, again, another one of those Avengers 60th anniversary items that was shown at that live stream a couple months ago now, but we have the official pre-order solicitations for it, and now that we can see it up close, we can see that, yeah, the Spider-Woman isn't on a new body. It's reuse of the old Spider-Woman, with just some new parts to make it the Scroll Queen, which is a little disappointing, but also, I mean, like, fucking just be patient. They'll put Spider-Woman back out on that new female body soon.
Yeah. And it's a Super Scroll with the Illuminati powers, so.
Yeah. If you're really into Secret Invasion, you'll probably want to get this, but otherwise I don't think it's a must-have for most people.
Yeah. Either way, looks cool. Looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Ramen Toys, totally not engines of vengeance. Holy shit.
So, for those of you who aren't familiar, Ramen Toys is an independent toy company that likes to fuck around, to put it nicely. Because they have made a lot of toys that are like updated, modern versions of licenses that belong to Hasbro, but they're not using right now. Like they made updated Centurions. Excuse me. I think they're working on updated what's the name for it? The fucking Laser Light Knight toy line from the 80s. And also this is a thing they've started doing recently, which is if a HasLab fails, you can just fucking make to order it from us because we're a smaller company and we can afford to do that. We don't have mass producing anyway. Which I mean, if you really wanted the engine of vengeance, I guess here you go. But also, like, again, trying to be nice here, I've never heard anybody be satisfied with a Ramen Toys product. They always have like really loose joints, really poor QC, and they barely hold together. Like those Centurions, it was literally like a year and a half of like every other video. Dan Larson of Toy Galaxy mentioning how disappointed in those toys he was, and from everything I've heard, which is only like a little bit here and there, their production quality hasn't really improved since. So, like, I would only recommend getting this if you just really needed the Engines of Vengeance on your shelf. Otherwise, probably stay away from this because also it's like it's the kind of third party thing that I don't feel comfortable with because some third party toys are cool. If you're doing an original design, if you're doing your own take on a character, that's fine. I'm not personally into it, but it's fine. This is blatantly ripping off a Hasbro design that they weren't able to meet the numbers to produce.
Yeah. It's yeah, there's a lot of like icky stuff there. I'm going to Ramen Toys website real quick just because I'm just curious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's the thing. They're also doing an orange one for to General Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah, like these guys, I remember these guys. And yeah. Oh, Mask.
Oh, hey, Buster. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I can totally see what they're doing. Eh, yeah, who knows? Hey, guess what? NECA Batman Utility Belt replica bundle.
Hey, it's fucking hey, you like 89 Batman, that nostalgia thing, you're gonna buy all that merch coming out for the Flash movie. Here's a replica of that utility belt that comes with every single gadget and costs $130.
You know what though? For like a roleplay toy that's like meant to be like a prop, that's not bad.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I would buy it if it was like $80 or less, but $130, and keep in mind I'm saying this as a common writer thing. $130 for a fucking belt? No, thank you.
For a fucking prop.
Hmm.
It's a prop replica.
Like, I've said this to people. I wouldn't buy a CSM Wizard driver. So you're not going to catch me buying this.
Yeah. But it looks cool, it looks well done, it looks sculpted.
Mhm.
DC Multiverse Black and White Accent Flash.
Yeah, this isn't based on anything. It's just a cool color variant that they did as a Big Bad Toy Store exclusive. And apparently, a lot of people really liked it because it sold out like crazy, like right away. But I'm not personally a fan of it because, again, it's just a well, blatant repaint. And also, like, the card art makes it look like it's supposed to be monochrome, but the yellow bits being yellow really froze me off because then you got the guy with the pale face. It just it doesn't look right. Like the yellows are too bright. They stand out too much for it to be monochrome, in my opinion.
Well, it's not monochrome. It's color isolation.
Hmm.
It's like the red coat in Schindler's List. You have everything be black and white to make the colors pop more.
Hmm.
It's a filmic technique.
I guess that makes sense. It's still not my kind of thing, though.
I think it looks neat. And as like just a side thing of like, hey, here's an idea.
Yeah.
You know?
And again, like, this is the kind of thing that I think should be an exclusive because it's not really based on anything. It's just a fun side thing that is there for the people who want it, but isn't going to be clogging up shelves otherwise.
McFarlane DC Superpowers, Wonder Woman, Invisible Jet. Look at that hunk of clear plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's kind of funny though, because they did like a thing where on Twitter they posted this picture, but it was just the Wonder Woman in the sitting position against that background, and they're like, "Hey guys, we're making an invisible jet." And for an hour, everybody was going like, Todd, April Fool's Day was a while ago." And then they posted this image an hour later, and it was like, oh wow, Todd actually got us. He is actually making it.
No,
That's
they
neat.
should have done that one photo on April Fools and then this one now. It's just like, wait, you thought we were joking? No, we're actually making one. Here you go.
Man.
Also,
But I mean, like,
I like the kitty version of the McFarlane Toys logo. That looks cute.
yeah, it's cool. It's fun. I've heard reports from people that the Superpowers line is actually pretty solid. So like it's one of those things where it's like I'm glad that exists. It's not for me, but I can imagine kids today being really into it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, boy. Super 7 TMNT Ultimates Wave 10 Redux. Yeah, we're not
So
doing Rat King.
yeah, for those of you not aware, originally they solicited this wave having a Rat King, and the Rat King looked really weird because they tend to go for either specifically say this is the Mirage Comics version of the character, or this is an update of the vintage toy. But that Rat King didn't look like either of those things. He looked like he was based on Shredder's Revenge.
Yes.
Um, and a lot of people got uppity at them for it, and they were like, okay, we'll do Rat King in the next wave. We'll rework it. Don't worry.
And that
Uh,
makes me sad because that fucking Rat King in Shredder's Revenge looks hype as fuck.
True. But here's the thing. It's Super 7. I think they might just include that head since they already have it sculpted.
Yeah.
And just be like, here's the comic head as the main thing. It's meant to be comic Rat King now. Calm down. And also, The Karai that they solicited in its place, which was supposed to be for the next wave, looks really dang good.
Yeah.
This is the first time we've gotten a figure of Mirage Karai, and she looks great.
Yeah, looks good. I'm not saying the Karai's bad. I'm just saying, like, yo, don't be cowards. Shredder's Revenge Rat King hype.
Yeah, look, the thing is, people didn't have a problem that it was Shredder's Revenge Rat King necessarily. They had a problem that it didn't go with the rest of the line.
That's a
Because toy collectors are anal retentive like that.
that's a nothing complaint. NECA dropped a teaser for their ongoing April takeover, the Fifth Turtle. I don't know what this is a reference to.
You don't know what this is a reference to? That's fine, because I didn't either. I got educated on this yesterday, actually. So, in the Archie comics, April got mutated and became a turtle for a little while. So they're making a figure of that.
They're only doing April announces this month, Buster. So this has to be April.
Yeah, this is Archie Comics April as the Fifth Turtle. Yeah, that was a thing. There were, like, Buster, go look up the old Archie comics from the 80s. A lot of people swear by them. They say they're really good. And it was a thing that April became a turtle for a little bit. And a lot of people are excited about this because the fact that this is happening means we'll probably also get the rest of the Archie Turtles because it's real easy to make those repaints. So, yeah, very, very exciting if you're a fan of that specific corner of TMNT.
Yeah. But in the meantime, that's it for all the news. Hey, we got through it, buddy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you ready to talk some comics?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I'm trying, man. The medicine I took before the show is starting to wear off.
Okay, we'll go through this quick. Hey, tell me about Gwenpool.
Oh, you say quick and then you give me the Gwenpool book? Oh boy. You fool. You foolish fool. Love Unlimited has been the Unlimited Infinity Comics has been a subline of comics Marvel has been doing specifically on Marvel Unlimited, which is basically their version of the DC webtoons. It's scrolling comic books, basically. And I've been avoiding them for the most part because there's already a lot out there, and like nobody had said anything that sounded particularly promising about them.
The only one you've been keeping up with is Jeff.
Yeah. And even then I kind of fell off Jeff. Jeff's had like quite a few issues since I last talked about it on here. I need to catch up. But thanks to Tumblr, over the last couple weeks I found out like, oh hey, Love Unlimited is a thing, and Gwenpool is the current star character because it's had a rotating cast and creative team. And the person that's writing this arc is Jeremy Waitley, the writer of the original unbelievable or unstoppable Wasp comic that I love so much. And he hasn't really done much at Marvel since. So I was really excited to see him get more work, and I was excited to see more Gwenpool solo stuff. So what is basically going on here? The premise is this is Gwen trying to get herself relevant again by creating an artificial romance. So like the arc started in issue 33. I read 43. I read 43 and 44 back to back this week. And basically it starts off with like this very generic saccharine sweet romance comic meet cute between her and Wither. And it's like, oh hey, I'm getting books on how to start a garden. You like gardening, right? Yeah, we should have a date and I can teach you some stuff. And then like it immediately cuts away to her getting back to her little Krakoa hut, which looks fucking disgusting. It looks like a Gremlin cosplayer girl's house.
Because that's what she is.
Yeah. And she's like, ha, I fucking did it. I'm gonna be relevant again. I've been feasting off the scraps of cameos and background appearances for months, and I finally have a starring role on a book. Oh my god, it's a scrolling book. We're on the internet. I can get caught up on the last however long it's been since I got stuck in the Marvel Universe amount of real world news. And so we get Gwenpool commenting on like a bunch of memes and current events for the last few years. Gwenpool does not like NFTs. She doesn't fucking understand NFTs. She thinks they're weird and dumb. But she's also like, wait, I've been in the Marvel Universe for 8 fucking years? It only feels like it's been a couple months. Oh fuck, sliding time scale.
That's the most adorable meta joke ever.
Mm-hmm. And then she goes to have her date with Wiver, and there's a moment where like they're getting all close, and she's going like, "Ah, this is gonna be great. We're gonna be like the new Rogue and Gambit, because if he touches me, he'll fuck me up, and that won't be good." And we can have that dynamic going, and people got like decades worth of comics out of that stuff, and I can be relevant again. This is gonna be so great. And then he holds her hand, and she's like, wait, what the fuck? We can touch? And he's like, oh yeah, when I got resurrected last time, it kind of fixed my powers. So it's safe for me to touch people now. It's actually been really nice. And she just goes, oh god damn it, that's not fair. Now we're just another generic white people couple. That's not gonna last. That's not gonna be interesting enough. Oh
Oh,
man. And she literally looks at this dude and goes like, they're gonna they're gonna fucking they're gonna retcon that within 6 months. They're gonna realize that it's boring and uninteresting. There's not gonna be any ideas. And she just looks at him and goes like, I'm sorry, I can't do this. I refuse to be one more Dade.
fucking hell.
Mm-hmm. So issue 44 opens up with her going to Elixir and seducing him because she's like, all right, what's more juicy than a love triangle? We'll get that going. I'll be the new Jean Grey. This is going to be great. And so she goes on a date with him, and fucking iBoy spots it and goes to Wiver and is like, hey man, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I think Elixir might be fucking with your girl. I don't know if that's the best thing. And Gwen's like up in a tree with binoculars and a little bucket of popcorn watching, like, all right, it's about to go down. This is going to be it. This is going to kick off a decade's worth of stories at least. And then they have a fucking wholesome bro heart to heart moment of like, oh man, I didn't know that you liked her. I was just trying to help her better understand her powers. We're fucking we're better than that. I value our friendship more than that. Let's just agree to go talk to Gwen and work this out, and I'll stay away from her. It's gonna be fine. And he's like, and Gwen's just like, God damn it. No, fucking everything is against me today. So she goes through a gate to New York and almost gets crushed by a slime monster before she's saved by fucking Julie Power of the Power Pack. And immediately falls for Julie Power because, hey, did you fucking forget that Gwenpool's bi?
A lot of people
And
in Buster server didn't know that, and they were like, "Oh my god, did they just confirm a bi character?" No, she's been bi for this whole time. What?
mhm,
She's been bi? Yeah.
yeah, and I love the fucking again playing into comic romance tropes because this is meant to be a parody of romance comics. Next time, gals being pals. I've really enjoyed this. This is really nice. I'm very much looking forward to the next chapter. These release weekly. So yeah, you'll hear me talking about this more next week. And I'm gonna keep up with this book at least until Gwenpool is no longer the starring character, because y'all know I love my girl Gwen.
Wasn't Julie Powers dating someone though?
I do not know, and hey, that could even be an element to the story next time of her pining after someone she can't have.
Yeah. But hey, cool. I read Silver Surfer Ghostlight.
How's that?
It's good. I like the characters. They're basically what this was kind of like the bad guy gearing up to fight the good guys, and the good guys going like, all right, let's get all the fleshy people safe out of the out of the way, and then like the part of the bad guy comes in and goes like, "Hey, we're the only part that's sane. You gotta help us," and that's kind of where the issue ends.
Buster, we weren't saying you specifically didn't know she was bi, just somebody else in the server.
Yeah, it was also it was no, it was more of like, oh wait, is she a lesbian? It's like, no, she's bi.
Yeah.
Julie Powers is a lesbian. She is a lesbian character.
Mhm.
She isn't bi. I trying to remember. Julie Powers is a lesbian. I'm connecting Power Pack to fucking Runaways because I know the alien chick in Runaways is a lesbian, and Minoru is bi.
Yeah. I also just know very little about Runaways. I need to read that at some point. And I also know very little about the Power Pack. Like, literally all I knew about them before this week was that they're kids who got powers somehow, and they hang out with the Fantastic Four sometimes.
They got powers from horse people.
Mm.
Yeah. You read The Seasons Have Teeth.
Yeah, this is a new independent book that started up this week, and I wanted to give it a shot, and it's pretty good. It's a story about, excuse me, an old war photographer who is like all depressed because his wife died recently and nothing makes sense anymore. But his publisher is pushing him to get out and photograph spring because spring is coming. And then we find out that in this world, the seasons have become a plague. Like, spring hitting is a bunch of fucking crazy monstrous vines growing and taking over shit and killing people. Like, people evacuate towns to get out of the way of spring, like it's a hurricane or something. And so he's there, he's photographing it, like trying to find joy in life again, reminiscing about like how him and his wife met and the first time they had sex. And then a bunch of fucking kids almost get attacked by the vines and end up fighting back against it for a second. And then the vines turn into a fucking Swamp Thing monster mash.
Huh.
And then the kids go up and like commune with the Swamp Thing monster mash. And the whole time he's just clicking away with his camera like, what the fuck is going on? This is crazy. Nobody's ever been this close to spring before. Nobody's ever seen anything like this. And his photo ends up getting published, and it's like, this is going to be a world-changing event. This is the impetus for the series. And I think it's pretty interesting. It's not fully my kind of thing, but I will give the next issue a look.
Neat.
Yeah.
Neat, but neat. All right. I read Storm and the Brotherhood of Mutants, issue 3, the last part of the Storm side of Sins of Sinister. I would suggest for you, Vec, to at least read this before finishing Sins of Sinister.
Okay.
Because this is partially the final battle that Sinister's kind of like doing. Sinister in this issue teams up with the Brotherhood, and the Brotherhood's going like, all right, we got all the materials, we got a new set of 5, we're gonna resurrect Storm. And so they do, but they don't have the full memory thing, so she's not Storm, but she's Storm, and they're going like, hey, you're Aurora, you're important, you're not our Aurora, but you can be something new, you can be your own person. She's like, all right, cool. And then they do this whole big fight, and Aurora Storm does what she does, and she's like a big self-sacrificial hero, and she like hurts herself in trying to protect other people, and they do the whole thing, and then Storm fucking backstabs all of them and goes like, okay, cool, thank you for getting me this far, I need to go kill Moira. So it is the next step in the Sinister story.
Okay.
It's cool. It's fun. Sins of Sinister is very interesting. It's a good book.
It's not an essential story, I would say, but it's a very cool taking a concept from the universe and running with it type thing.
Yeah. I also read Stillwater, issue 11.
Hey, you caught up yet?
No, I
Uh,
think it's like 16 issues.
oh man.
So this is 1 year later.
Oh,
We have a time skip. But
they unjusticed your ass.
oh yeah. So here's the thing. The kid's been the leader for a year. Things are different, but they're not better. And that's literally the best way to describe it. It's different, not better. Things haven't improved. And they're just kind of like now everyone's chafing at everything, and like it's the spotlight's really showing of like, okay, it wasn't just the leadership that was the problem. Stillwater has a problem. Something's wrong. And we just see it through multiple layers of like, oh, this one person's not behaving in the community. We got to go kill them. Like, take them out and kill them outside the border. The one person who's been bringing them supplies every month is starting to get suspicious. How do we deal with that? The main character going like, oh, I can't do anything because I have basically an eye on me. If I do anything, they're going to kill my mom. If my mom does anything, they're going to kill her and kill me. Like, all this different stuff. And you're just going like, nothing in this story is going to improve. All these people are fucked in the head. And the last panel is his mom calling the other character that's throughout this issue, going like, hey, I'm back in Stillwater. Let's fuck shit up. And she has like a pixie cut and a gun. And it's just like, oh shit. It took 30 years for the last thing to pop over. And now it's only taking a year. This is getting, oh no. It's good though. Stillwater good.
Yeah.
You read Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Yeah, so it's not happened on this show's chat, but like every time I see people outside of our little bubble talking about how shit current Peter Parker Spider-Man is, somebody inevitably goes, but the Miles book is really good right now. You should read the Miles book if you're not. And so this week, because a new issue came out, and it happened to luckily be the final issue of the opening arc, I broke down and read the first 5 issues of the current Miles Morales Spider-Man run. And yeah, it's really damn good. It is basically Miles dealing with classic Spider-Man problems of being stressed out, having way too full a plate, and having a little bit of imposter syndrome. And it's all exasperated right now because he can't talk to Peter, because Peter's not available because of all the shit that's going down in Peter's book. And he's just been like slipping more and more. He's been late to school a lot lately, and in the first issue, one of his teachers starts reading him the riot act for it because it's like the third or like the third week consecutive at that point or something like that. And he's like so stressed out that he doesn't even think and just starts back talking his the teacher and gets himself suspended. And he's like, all right, fuck it, I'm just gonna go do Spider-Man shit. And then immediately his parents call him and are like, Miles, the fuck, dude. And he's like, I'm sorry, I'm just really stressed out. I don't know what I'm doing. And they're like, okay, well, you're going to have plenty of time to decompress and get your shit together because as soon as you get in from being Spider-Man today, you're grounded. And then that kind of leads into him discovering the villain plot, which is that somebody's been arming up rogues that he usually deals with more better tech than usual. Like he has a fight with the Scorpion in the opening issue. And Scorpion's got like a more powerful tail than usual. And then he fights a guy I've never seen before, but I'm guessing is like a Miles specific rogue, the Bumbler, who is a bee-based villain. And he's got like a new super powerful gun. And he's like, and Miles is like, what the fuck is going on here? And then he starts investigating it and runs into Misty Knight, who is also investigating it. And it's like, team up? Yeah, sure. And which comes in handy later when the police start hounding Miles, like, hey, you're a vigilante in New York with powers. That's not allowed. And she's like, actually, he's my intern.
Hmm.
You're fucking kidding, right? No. And if you don't believe me, I have the mayor on speed dial. So back off. Um, and Misty's actually really great in this book too. She has total like adoptive mom energy. Because she just keeps like listening to Miles and letting him talk about his problems and being like, okay, here's how you deal with that. That shit's tough, but here's how you start dealing with that and start digging yourself out of the hole. Um, and it eventually leads to them discovering the villain plot, which is a new villain named the Rabble, who is a technopath um, that kidnaps Miles's current girlfriend, who is the Vulture's granddaughter, who is going by Starling as a superhero identity now. I had no idea that that was going on, because the only time I've ever heard her mentioned was in Wells's Spider-Man, where Vulture just yells about her being in danger like she's a helpless like 6 or 7 year old, and here she is the same age as Miles and a fully capable vigilante. So, another tick against Wells's Spider-Man there. Um, but she's a cool character in her own right, because when her and Gank get kidnapped, she just immediately starts back talking Rabble, because Rabble does the classic reveal my motivations and master plan to my captives thing, where we find out that Rabble is actually an underprivileged person from New York's lower half, who was also in the lottery for Miles was in and won to get into the school for gifted kids. And because she didn't get in through the lottery and Miles did, it ruined her whole life. Like, she had a lot of potential and a lot of stuff was going for her, but she needed something to foster it, and her family couldn't afford that. And then her mom died, and it completely broke her dad. Um, and so she just kind of blames Miles for ruining her life. And it's very much a thing of like, you're not even valuing it. You're not putting your time into school. You're being Spider-Man all the time. You're privileged and you're not using that privilege properly. And Miles has to come back at her. And Starling even says this to her of like, yeah, but Miles didn't even want to be in that school. Like, that was a thing that his parents did for him, and it's a product of a system that he doesn't even fully support. And Miles has to talk to her about that, and she's just already so far gone that she's just like yelling at him about like, no, this is all your fault. It has to be your fault. I need a tangible thing I can take my frustration out on. And in the big final confrontation fight, she does like do a self-destruct thing, and it's implied that she's dead, but we never see a body, so I'm sure she's coming back. Um, and there's like some really solid character building all throughout. Like, the whole supporting cast feels really well fleshed out. Everyone feels very in lockstep with the characterization I know them for. Like, this Miles in this book, I could freaking hear Spider-Verse Miles' voice while reading his dialogue. Um, However, I will say the dialogue is the one minor tick I have against this book, because the art is really spectacular and phonetic looking and has some really cool dynamic panel layouts. But occasionally, the dialogue will come off as kind of corny to me, because, and maybe this is just because I'm white, but there is so much slang in some of the dialogue that it comes off like somebody trying to write black characters who doesn't actually know how black people talk. Like, there is some word balloons that will just be like nothing but modern black people slang, and it reads like I'm watching a GTA cutscene.
Mm.
Um, but that's only like once or twice throughout this run did that really bother me. Uh, Overall, though, I think it's really solid. It's really good. I'm gonna keep reading it. Like, the next issue is gonna be starting up Miles's corner of the Summer of Symbiotes, but it the book's been good, so I'm willing to trust it through that.
Is that legacy number part of like Ultimate Spider-Man?
I'm not sure. It might be just the Miles Morales Spider-Man numbering.
Because that's 287. That seems way too much for just. Yeah. I'm thinking it's Ultimate.
I'm not sure. If I'm being perfectly honest, this is the first time I've read a solo Miles book.
That's fair. We both read The Giant Kaiju.
And we both had a very different takeaway from it. We had a big protracted discussion about it before the show. Uh, so I'll just say right now, this probably just isn't for me. Very much not my kind of humor. I didn't even really get that it was satire when I read it. And even then, the satire doesn't fully work for me. The art style's not my kind of thing. And there's several gags in it that I'm just like, that's a bit much for me. Um, but yeah, you say what you want to say about it, Boingo.
I'm gonna read at least the next couple issues just because I'm interested to see what happens. Jerry Duggan's also a solid writer.
Mhm.
So. And he may have just been trying to get all the fucking. I'm gonna. Real quick, what happens in this first issue is a typical kaiju attack, but it is overly gross, overly cynical, and overly pessimistic as a way to like. Because the entire time it is talking about climate change of like, oh, what if the Earth retaliates for what we do to it? And it feels very much like a piss take on all those stories. It's like, oh yeah, the Earth is gonna come up and fuck your building, you know?
And it leans so hard into that like when I was reading it, I didn't even realize that it was a joke. I thought it was like, oh, you're taking Pacific Rim way too seriously and you're going on what's basically a Twitter rant here. But now that I understand that was supposed to be satire, I've kind of backed off a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. It feels like satire in the way that like South Park can be satire.
Mm-hmm.
Of like, this is overly gross and feels icky, and it's not gonna appeal to a lot of people.
Yeah, which hey, South Park really isn't my show. I had a whole period where I tried really hard to get into South Park because I knew people who really liked it, and it just did not click with me.
Like in this issue, the kaiju literally comes up, takes a shit, rubs its ass on the buildings, does the little doggy thing, and that's when I was like, oh, this is not being meant to be taken in any way like genuine. This is irony. This is satire.
Yeah.
And then he pulls out his dick and fucks a building, and there's people hanging off the dick. Like it's all a big joke. Especially when you look at the robot who's going to be fighting. We don't even see the robot in this issue.
Yeah.
It looks like just a big dumb. I remember fucking
Shogun Warriors.
Shogun Warriors, yeah, brr. Yeah. So I'm gonna read the next issue. We'll see if my interpretation or Vax's interpretation is more correct. We'll see. We both read Superman Lost.
Yeah, issue 2, and finally getting into what I was actually expecting from this book, which is Superman hoboing around the galaxy, going like, can you point me towards Earth?
But also with elements of, oh no, Superman has PTSD.
Mm-hmm. Because you get a very brief flash of the present day where it's like he keeps going back to sleep and like phasing out on the floor, and Lois having to go like, hey, Smallville, you're still with us, right?
No, it's not even that. He's not breathing. He's holding his breath. And she's like, breathe. Right. I'm so used to holding my breath.
Yeah.
You know? Which is like terrifying to think about. It's like, shit. And this whole issue's all about breathing because he lands on a couple planets and they don't know how to make his like his breathing atmosphere. So like,
Well, he gets picked up by some aliens, and then they shoot him onto a planet that he jumps around on.
no, but those aliens are like, oh, cool, we made it, we made the atmosphere breathable for you, and Superman goes to breathe it, and he can't breathe, and they go down. And it's like, listen, it's like, what the fuck's carbon dioxide? And it's like they didn't know that there was too much, and he couldn't breathe, so they like, it's fucked.
Mm-hmm. Uh, and then they shoot him onto a planet where there's like a big there's one corner of it that's really polluted and fucked up, and there's all these kids. And then he goes over to like farmland where there's an older guy who's just kind of like, hey, you can't really understand our language. You're getting like a bad machine translation. But things here are really fucking complicated. Don't try to help us out. You're just gonna get stuck here. Here's some stuff to get you off our planet and on your way.
Yeah, but it was also all about breathing and atmosphere and like that kind of stuff. This is interesting so far. I am excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, I like this issue much better than the first one.
Yeah, we'll see it. We'll see how it happens.
Mm-hmm.
We both read Fantastic Four #6.
Oh man, what a tremendous issue!
This is some pure ass Fantastic Four shit.
Yeah, because it's just them dealing with a weird sci-fi problem that they themselves caused, and doing some crazy shit with their powers, and the ramifications that come from it.
Yeah, because basically they accidentally let a fucking virus, not a virus, a bacterium, an algae that would just propagate and could never be eaten because it's mirrored. So they're going like, all right, how can we solve this? Well, we can't burn it. There's too much, and we're always gonna miss something. And then Johnny has the idea of like, oh, what if we turn the sun off? Oh wait, no, that'd kill everything on Earth. All this kind of stuff. And then I love this moment. It's just Reed going like, Johnny, you're a genius. You got it. And it's like, what? It's always good moments with Reed doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Also, like just before that, this moment where Reed's like, I guess there's really nothing we can do. We're gonna have to like evacuate the planet or something. And Fing just looks at him like he just said his wallet tastes good and goes, no, there has to be something else. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what the thing is there to be. It's like, no, fuck that shit. So Sue just is the powerhouse that she is, and just it makes the light invisible in that localized area for 3 days.
And like her and Johnny are just chilling up in space in the Fantastic Car, having a little heart to heart, which is always really nice to see in the FF book. Well, Reed, Ben, and Alicia are all doing crowd control, and it doesn't go very well.
At the end, there's a fucking riot.
Yeah. Cool Dr. Octopus cameo. I wasn't expecting that, but it was fun.
Yeah. But they save they save the day, they do all the stuff.
Yeah, but ultimately they get back down to Earth, and is it S.H.I.E.L.D. that shows up?
I don't know. It is Maria Hill.
Yeah, Maria Hill shows up with some government fuckers, and they're like, hey, Sue, we didn't know you could fucking do that. We didn't know you were basically capable of ending all life on the planet if you wanted to. You're gonna have to come in for questioning. And they're like, fuck that, we're getting out of here. And now they're the Fantastic Fugitives.
Oh, yeah. This Fantastic Four run has been absolutely great.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can single-handedly, we can say that now. It's a good run.
Yeah. Also, I love how currently, like, there's only, like, 10 heroes that are technically well received in the public eye, and it's whoever's on the Avengers, because the Fantastic Four are on the outs, Spider-Man's on the outs, Daredevil's on the outs, Punisher's always been on the outs, and the X-Men are either you love them or you hate them.
They're weirdo fuckers on Cult Sex Island.
Yeah. Like, the cover for the next issue is literally um, the entire Marvel universe coming for the FF and Doom being their savior. Really interested to see how that's going.
Oh yeah.
Also, that'll be issue 700 overall.
Oh, nice. I read Bloodline Daughter of Blade issue 3.
How's that go?
Blade shows up and goes like, "Hey, so I didn't want to leave. I actually I stuck around for you as a baby for a while, but I'm Blade. Vampires are gonna come after me, so I thought you'd be safer if I left. Apparently not. You have vampire powers. We got to do something about this." And
it's time for some daddy-daughter shit.
Literally, it's that kind of vibe. And she goes like, "All right, well, train me." And he's like, "All right." And they go on a little hunt, and he basically goes like, "This isn't me training you. This is me going easy to see, not necessarily going easy, so you know if you need to back off, if that this isn't your life. Because if you can't handle this easy shit, you definitely can't handle my training." And she's like, "Okay." And so they do a little sparring, and he goes like, "All right, the big thing with your training isn't going to be no, the daylight being your weakness, because she doesn't have her powers during the day. That's her big gimmick. She has the powers of Blade, but not during the day. She can just walk out into normal human." He goes, "Your biggest weakness is twilight and sunrise, because that's when your powers are in flux and you cannot rely on them. So you're going to have to learn to feel your powers and how they interact with those times." Yes.
I'm going to be that guy for a second. Is it just sun up and sun down that activates her powers, or is it like a specific time zone that she has to keep track of?
Sunrise, sundown.
Okay, just wherever she is. If it's dark out, she has powers.
Yes, but the time in between, her powers are in flux.
Okay.
And Blade's going like, "You can't rely on anything. Everything is flexible there. So we got to train that, basically. We got to work on that." And it's really nice because he's not being treated like a deadbeat dad. He's being treated like, you made a very hard decision with your life. It's understandable, but it sucks that it had to happen.
Yeah, he's like a wrestler dad.
Yeah, or like a dad who was in the army. He's like, it's understandable. It sucks, but it's understandable. So yeah, no, it seems like it's gonna be good, and you know what? Cool, new Vampire Hunter character coming in through.
Yeah.
You read 007 for King and Country.
Yeah, this is a new James Bond miniseries that's starting up over at Dynamite from the current writer of Action Comics. And I've been really liking all of his work that I've checked out, so I wanted to give this a shot. And it's okay. It reads like the midpoint in a Daniel Craig James Bond movie, which is weird because it's the first issue. But the characterization is solid. The art's pretty good. There's some decent stuff in here. It's just not really grabbing me or impressing me in any way. It's very much a James Bond comic.
Neat.
Yeah. I don't think I'll be reading the rest, honestly.
Cover looks good.
Cover looks very Bruce Timm to me.
You read Ewoks.
Yeah. This is something I've been looking forward to for quite a while.
Can I just say that cover looks like a fucking toy back card?
I think that was probably intentional. But because from the solicitations, it looked like this was going to be a horror anthology starring the Ewoks. And I was like, yes, let's lean into them being fucking monster meat eater fuckers, which is what they are. They were going to cook and eat Han and Luke. Don't forget. But no, this is actually a cutesy story time thing of a bunch of silent comics, because with the Ewoks, you really either you give them dialogue balloons that's their language, you give them translated ones, or you just have them be silent. And I think just having them be silent is the better option. because I enjoy completely silent comics. That's like one of my. I don't actively seek it out, but whenever I run across it, I'm like, "Fuck yeah, let's do that." So I wasn't too upset that this wasn't a horror anthology. I was just like, "Oh, bunch of silent comics, let's go for that." And yeah, it's pretty neat. There's a little. Uh, there's a story about a young Ewok making friends with a another race of creatures that's on Endor that look kind of like tiny little Grinchlings.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, and then there's then there is a kind of horror story about Paplu telling a ghost story about encountering like a big fucking Krampus monster mash.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of horror-esque.
Mm-hmm. It's not having the Ewoks be the monsters, but it's like it's an Ewok telling a ghost story to other Ewoks. Uh and then Peekpa tells a story about wanting to see the stars and building a makeshift spacecraft, excuse me, that is salvaged out of Imperial walker parts.
Hmm.
And it's really cute. Uh and nice. It's not going to be like the most memorable Star Wars comic ever, but it's a really neat use of this race I fought.
Neat. And it's also just nice to see just weirdo fucking Star Wars things.
hmm It's good to have a reminder that, like, hey, the Ewoks are a thing, and they're characters with actual names and shit.
Yeah. Because like like I think Disney made the right decision of just cutting off all the legacy old extended universe stuff
hmm
because like they were never going to be able to fucking make anyone happy with all of it.
Yeah, if fucking episode 7 had been like a sequel to the Fate of the Jedi novels, everybody had been confused as hell.
Yeah. And so I think they were better, but like the one cool thing about the extended universe was that they just whatever, like Star Wars printed money, do whatever. Can I tell a story about Ewoks? Put Star Wars on the, yes, you can do whatever. Fuck
Yeah.
it.
And there's people who are like genuinely really nostalgic for those old Ewok TV specials.
You know. But like that's the
Um,
thing, it's like you can put Star Wars on something and it can be anything and it can print money. Oh, you want to tell a story about like a Royal Guard stormtrooper who's going on a fucking Rambo adventure? Sure, bud, have fun. And it becomes one of the most critically acclaimed Star Wars comics.
yeah.
You know. I think Star Wars needs to be weird.
Also, like, do more with Ewoks. Give us another Ewok TV special or something.
Yeah. X-Men number 21. Uh the gang contemplates genocide.
Yeah, this was not what I was expecting at all, especially after last issue.
But it is a
King,
really good issue.
It's not in this fucking issue at all, and I was a little upset.
It's a good issue though.
Yeah.
They're fighting the Brood, and basically they have to come to a decision of like, should we just kill all the Brood?
hmm
Is it too dangerous for the Brood to exist?
Interesting to see a modern X-Men comic go like, yo, Cyclops might not be right all the time, though.
Yeah, but you totally understand his perspective.
hmm
It's not from nothing. It's not from nowhere. He's thinking of it in the most utilitarian, logical way possible. Of like, we only have a tenuous grasp on the Brood with Brew, and he's shown that he is susceptible. Maybe it is
Yeah.
better to cut it off. And Brew's like, no! What? I'm trying to do good. It's like, trying to do good, and like, it's a liability. It could hurt and kill so many people.
And Jean has to basically bitch slap him and go like, motherfucker, are we the X-Men or are we the Brotherhood? We have to help these people.
And he's basically like, fine, duly noted, but this plan isn't going away. It's
Mhm.
being written down, And if it comes to it, we will enact it. Because remember, he has 1,001 plans.
Yeah.
Though I don't know if you've been reading the inserts, the text inserts. That one of them was fucking wild. It was basically
I only read them if I really want to. It's sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I didn't this time.
Okay. It was a transcription of a conversation between the war chiefs. So Cyclops, Bishop, Magic, and Psylocke.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, Cyclops goes like, "Hey, we need to fucking deal with these brood. We need a possible way to fix the brood." And Bishop goes like, "All right, so here's the thing. Wanda is technically in the Cerebro protocols. What if we cloned her body, had a psychic go into that mind, and just say no more brood? Brood problem solved." And Magic and Psylocke are like, "No! We're not cloning Wanda! What the fuck?" And Cyclops goes like, "Not a bad plan."
That is super fucked. Holy shit.
Yeah! But
Bishop's on my shit list now.
It's super fucked, but like you understand it from a guy who's like, "No, I am totally willing to kill myself to help others. I am totally willing to become the villain in order to do what I think is a necessary good." And he's seeing this as a necessary good. It's fucked. It's not good. It's not a great place to be in, Cyclops.
Yeah.
But it's understandable. It's interesting. I like
it's
this
a tough
issue.
time.
Did you like this issue?
I liked it. It wasn't what I was expecting, and I was a little let down because of that, but overall I did like it.
Man, Jerry Duggan just disappointing you this entire week.
Yeah. Where's that Kingpin you promised me, motherfucker?
It's after the brood. After the brood.
Mm-hmm.
You read Lazarus Planet, Revenge of the Gods, issue 3. Look at that. Look at that Skelly boy.
I really don't like the covers for this book. I'm going to straight up say.
Have you been liking the insides of it?
The insides of it is great. It's a completely different art style. The interiors are done by Emmanuel Lapaccio and Kian Tamari. Not heard of those guys before, but they do pretty solid, more like traditionally DC looking art. Let me see if I can find a good page to show real quick. Yeah, here we go. That's not too spoilery. There's just Wonder Woman and Cheetah talking about some shit.
Yeah.
Focus camera.
I can see it. I can see it.
But this is the first book of the whole fucking War of the Gods or Revenge of the Gods event that I've actually enjoyed because shit is actually happening. Diana gets back from Olympus and she's like, "Oh God, everything's gone to shit. What are we gonna do?" Cheetah comes up to her and is like, "Don't worry, we're working it out. Come on, we need you." Billy wakes up in the prison and is like, "Fuck, I've lost my powers. What am I gonna do?" And then fucking Hecate shows up and is like, "Yo, I'm gonna break you out. Also, here's Yara Flor. She's gonna help you get back to the human realm." And Billy's like, "What the fuck? I thought all the gods were mad at us right now." And she's like, "Not all of us. There's a split. Don't worry about it." And then we see fucking Aphrodite and Hermes having a big couples fight, which is hilarious, and they use it as a distraction to escape. And then Hippolyta shows up, and I didn't realize, but apparently Hippolyta is a god right now. And she's like, "I'm going to get you guys back to the human realm, and we're going to form an army to stop what Hera is doing." So they get back to Earth, and Etta Candy shows up to reinforce Wonder Woman with Steve Trevor and I think Jason Woman? I'm not sure, because I've never actually read anything about that character. I've just heard him. Okay. I've heard of him. Do you know about that?
No.
Wonder Woman has a half-brother named Jason.
Oh.
And
Why is
I
his last name Woman and not Prince?
Jason Woman is just a joke everybody made up. And
Oh.
like that's all I know him as is Jason Woman.
Oh.
Because it's funny, generic name, and also woman is the prefix, is the suffix. You fucking get it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, this dude in armor standing next to Steve Trevor. I think that's supposed to be Jason, but I'm not sure.
He looks a little bit like a dork.
Mm-hmm. But they all show up. They're like, "We're gonna help you," and then Billy and Yar get back, and they're gonna help. And then there's a little bit of a fight with the gods, and it doesn't look like things are going too good for Diana and the gang. And then the hooded guy who's been showing up in random comics for the last couple issues of Wonder Woman Revenge of the Gods stuff shows up and saves Billy's ass. And they're like, you need to get out of here. This is no place for a regular person. It's dangerous. They have an army. And he's like, well, that's fine. I don't need an army. Because what does the god of war need with an army? And Ares is back, everybody.
Oh.
After dying in the G. Wilson run, he's back. And he's young and hot and sexy.
Oh my God. He's hot. That's how you
Yeah.
know he's a good guy now.
Yeah, hot, sexy, young, good guy Ares. Let's go. Oh,
Does Marvel and DC have an agreement that neither of their Ares can be a good guy at the same time?
maybe.
Because right, because like Punisher just made Ares a bad guy, and now Ares is back and he's good.
Mm-hmm. Also, Hippolyta goes to Themyscira and meets up with her wife and is like, "Hey, let's rally the troops. Diana needs help." And that's the whole backup. It's just that.
All
But yeah, like I said, first legitimately good and interesting issue of Revenge of the Gods so far. I'm actually kind of looking forward to seeing where it goes from here now.
All right. We both read Superboy, the Man of Tomorrow.
Okay, so before we get into this,
Uh-huh.
we need to clarify
Yes.
this leaked.
Oh yeah.
It's supposed to come out next week, but the DC app accidentally put it up a week early, and the site we used to read comics posted it, so we read it. But if you're being a good boy and you don't want to be spoiled, maybe tune out of the stream if you're watching live, come back, watch the replay next week. Or if you're watching the replay, just skip ahead like 10 minutes.
Yeah. I saw your thoughts on Twitter, and I can agree with them. I think there's just something. Okay, say your thoughts real quick.
Well, now I need to go look and see what exactly I said on Twitter, because that was a couple days ago and I don't wholly remember.
Oh, God.
Like, I remember how I feel about the book generally, but I don't remember what exactly I said. And now
I think
I'm
the big thing was, like, you feel like it's what it's saying is already being said in other places, and it just feels like it's repeating the same things.
It's not that this has already been said, it's that it doesn't say it in, because I just reread the tweet. It doesn't say it in a lot of like interesting or different ways, and it just keeps hitting the same point over and over again of Connor is sad because he feels irrelevant. He needs something to do. And it just keeps saying that over and over again. And it doesn't ever feel like it really explores that thought beyond you can go to another planet. And I'm like, Earth is a big fucking planet. There's been tons of heroes beforehand who haven't had a problem of having shit to do with Superman around and other supers around. Maybe just go somewhere besides Metropolis. I don't think you need to go to a whole different planet.
I think the big thing isn't like, oh, he has nothing to do. It's that he's Superboy. Like, he's looking at Superman and going, like, it's inadequacy.
Mm-hmm.
It's more about, like, I'm not measuring up. And, like, I'm kind of a bump on the log. I need to be Superman. I need to be like Superman. What would Superman be doing? Let me go help people. It's an I think it's much more of like an inadequacy thing instead of you know.
And then he goes to another planet to try and help out, and they're all just like, dude, you're sticking your dick where it doesn't belong. We don't need you.
Yeah, and I think that's ultimately going to be a lesson of like, hey, just help as you can. And I think and I think that's going to be fine. And I think this book would have hit better if it hadn't been for the fact that we are getting this very similar story in Action Comics and John Superman.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like when this book won the round robin thing, we were so hyped for it.
And I think we would have been hyped for it still. Like
the pitch sounded incredibly relevant at the time because we weren't in an era of the Superman family being a thing, being pushed really hard by DC.
Like if this came out 6 months earlier, it would have been the freshest fucking shit. But now we're in those stories, and this feels more of like, oh, sweet, we got mac and cheese. Oh, shit, we got mac and cheese. Oh, shit, we got fettuccine Alfredo. I mean, you're good, but you're still mac and cheese, bud. No, I'm fettuccine Alfredo. I'm different.
Yeah.
It's like, this is different. It is taking a different take, but it's a similar flavor.
Yeah. It's just... I don't know. I'm not even sure if I'm going to read the next issue of this because a lot of it just does feel like it's not really grabbing me, I think is the thing.
Yeah.
Because there's so much out there like it. I do really appreciate the art. You want to know what's fucking hilarious? My biggest positive takeaway from this book is the first time I've seen the current pants Supergirl costume drawn and actually not had a problem with it at all. Thought it looked really good in the 2 panels of this book that Kara appears in.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. This story's also being done in the Power Girl backup. We're getting the story 4 times over, technically.
Yeah. If this had just come out last year when the Superman family was crazy fragmented and Clark wasn't even on Earth, it would have been perfectly fine. It would have worked really well. But now it's just like, dude, what are you talking about? Your family's here and they love you, and you're working together with them to fight Metallo in the other book.
Yeah, but like this book, it does go on to say, like in the beginning, it's like this happens before Action Comics 1050.
Yeah.
This is supposed to take place months and months ago.
It's just wires getting crossed, really screwing things up here, I think.
I think reading it in the moment's going to be a little bleh, just because it is hitting similar notes. But later on in the trade, it's going to read a lot better.
Yeah, I was going to say it might be a great trade book.
I'm going to keep reading it just because I like punk rock Superboy.
And I imagine people who are only like really big Connor fans will like this book, especially if they're not reading the rest of the Superman stuff like we are.
Yeah. I will say, I do like the alien super team that he runs into. They look like a bunch of cool action figures.
I completely forgot about them. I need to look up and see if they've been in anything before.
But we both read Guardians of the Galaxy #1.
Fucking hype shit right here.
Hi, welcome to fucking Cowboy Town.
Yeah. This is literally just like, do you like cowboy aesthetic? No, get out. Yes, let's fucking go.
Gamora's in a corset. Mantis is a can girl. Drax is a barbarian for some reason.
But the only one of them that doesn't have a goofy new outfit is, and I say goofy in an affectionate way, it's like outlandish and badass. It's fucking Nebula. Nebula's just in her regular clothes.
She has a handkerchief though.
But like Star-Lord's got a fucking Bandito outfit and doesn't even look like Star-Lord for most of the comic.
But basically, we're in media res. They're on a planet and they're just running around trying to get people. And they're just going like, kid, you need to fucking get out of here. Come with me. and they're having to deal with all the locals going like, "What the fuck are you doing, you assholes?" And they're going like, "Guys, shit's about to go down. You need to evacuate. Get on the ship."
Mhm.
And they're trying their hardest, and then the Groot fall happens.
Yeah, Groot's the fucking. He's not even. They didn't even take him back to Monster Mash roots. He's a fucking planet destroying virus.
And like, we have no explanation for what any of this is. We have no idea how they've gotten to this point.
And Rocket is suspiciously absent.
Oh yeah. Also, any of the other Guardians aren't here. Where's Super Skrull? Where's Nova? Where's Marvel Boy? Where's Hercules?
What happened? Where everybody go?
Where everybody go? You know? But it's fun.
But also, just like the vibe of this issue is incredibly solid. It gives me feels of like, I don't know, just like classic anime.
It's very Trigun. It's very Trigun. It's very Outlaw Star.
I'm getting Trigun. I'm getting Outlaw Star. I'm getting a little bit of Bebop, but I'm also getting like modern space western stuff. Like I got some Mandalorian vibes off of this.
Know it also? I think it's just because like several of them are cowboy, some of them are like sci-fi, and then you just have Drax who's just like straight up, "I am Conan the Barbarian now,"
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like it. Because that's the thing with anime western is like you have cowboy, 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 cat girl.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like this week, I found two ongoing Marvel books I'd been sleeping on that were really good, and this book launched, and it was really fucking good. This is a banger week for Marvel, I think.
Yeah, and the cover's just gorgeous.
Yeah, that's a poster waiting to happen.
Like just that stark white background with the simple blocked circles.
Mm-hmm.
It's gorgeous. That's why you're thinking of anime. It has a Japanese flag in the cover.
It totally does.
Also, Hasbro, when you make in Marvel Legends Gamora, when's this costume? You know people want this costume.
When's this costume? When's this Drax? When's this
Mantis? Give us this Mantis.
Oh, we're not getting this Mantis. I know that for sure.
Come on.
I do like though that they're playing into the Cosmic Madonna thing again though.
Oh yeah. But she's just a happy-go-lucky can girl.
Yeah. Give me this Star-Lord look though, but I know you're gonna do a fucking plastic cape. So make the cape entirely removable so that you can have him just be the guy underneath, and so that people can make third-party cloth wired capes to put onto him.
Yeah. Good issue. It's good fun. It sets up the mystery of what's going on really, really well.
Yeah. Hopefully the rest of the series is able to deliver as well as this did.
Yeah. Yeah. We both read Captain America Civil War, Cold War. I don't fuck.
They got you. They got you because that's the same font, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I thought this was gonna be Sam and Steve fighting. It's like, no, they're teaming up.
Yeah. It's them
It's them on a double date. That's what this issue is.
It's them going like, oh man, Bucky's doing fuckboy shit. That's too bad. Guess we gotta go bust him across the chops a couple of times. Let's get to that.
Yeah. I will say though, I wasn't the biggest fan of the art inside.
Really?
There was something with the faces and the proportions. It just felt a little off to me.
I can agree that the faces are a little rough at times, but overall, I thought it was all right. It's not like my.
I'm not saying it's hold on.
It's passable, is what it is.
Is this? Hold on. Guardians title. People who did the Guardians. Lanzig, Kelly. Kelly, Lanzig. Is this just the art? Are they just flipped? Is this the same team?
I have no idea. Let me. Let's have a history. Yes. Okay.
It's just funny to me. I just noticed that. It's like, what? We're doing some research, people.
Yeah, I'm gonna open Guardians. Okay, Guardians was written by Colin Kelly and Jackson Lanzig, with art by Kay Walker.
Oh, so it's co-writers. Okay, they're co-writing.
Uh-huh. And Captain America was, where's the credits on this? It was written by Jackson Lansing, Colin Kelly, and Tochi Onyebuchi,
Yeah.
uh, with art by Carlos Magno. So yeah, two completely different artists, but same writing team.
But either way, it's a good issue. It's just them teaming up, figuring out how to deal with Bucky.
Steve has like a nice little catch up with Ian, and then Ian gets kidnapped by fucking Peggy, and then he's like, "Hey Sam, we gotta go after
My
we gotta go
boy.
after these people because they took my boy,
They took my
my
boy.
boy."
Oh my god, they took my sidekick? Yeah, they took your sidekick. They took my boy. Oh.
And friggin' Sharon and Monica are also there.
It's a double date.
Yeah. Oh man, I just realized.
Yeah.
Sam and Misty have been a thing for a while.
Yeah.
Misty's now like fucking surrogate mentor to Miles, because she did at the end of the opening arc also say like, yeah, I want you to officially be my intern now.
I'm not.
And
I'm not just
and
shitting you. The cover for you. Intern.
yeah, we're gonna hang out and I'm gonna show you the ropes because the other Spider-Man apparently did a really shit job for you, and I don't like that. You deserve better. And he was like, "Oh, thank you so much." But also, how long until Sam shows up in Miles Morales Spider-Man? That needs to happen.
That's neat. Good issue. I'm excited to see what happens in the rest of this crossover.
Yeah, like I've been low key, like very apprehensive about Cold War, but this is a really solid start to it.
Also, White Wolf is now the fucking control of the Zemo monsters, which is scary, but good.
Yeah.
Next issue. I read Moon Knight number 22.
Hey, how's that going?
So Tigra is basically going to Mark on like, hey, so there's been rumors about Midnight Man coming in again and doing shit, and like all he's doing is like stealing from like rich assholes who like tax evade and do shit like that. And Mark is going like, don't worry, Midnight Man's dead. Both of them are. They're both dead. And Tiger's like, yeah, sure, Mark. And they're having this whole conversation while watching a VHS tape with Tigra's son. Because she has a kid. She has like a 8-year-old kid.
She had a kid with Skrull Scott, right?
Skrull Scott, yes.
Or no, Skrull Hank.
Skrull Hank. Actually, this issue talks about that.
Yeah, and he's technically Nadia's half brother.
Yeah. So Tigra goes like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go full on Avenger. I'm gonna look into this because something's happening and I'm worried. So she does, and then she runs into Midnight Man, unmasks him, and it's Mark Spector. And she's like, what the fuck is going on? And he goes like, this is why I told you not to worry. See, it's not like we're getting any money from what we're doing, so I needed some kind of funds to keep us afloat. So I figured these guys are going to jail. Let's steal their money. We're good. And Tiger's just like, that's not what I'm mad about. I'm mad that you lied to me.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I didn't even think of it like that. Shit. And so she's like pissed at him, and basically she goes like, you've never even taken your mask off around my kid. And like they mentioned it earlier in the issue, and he's like, and that's kind of what wakes him up of like, I need to trust my friends more. I need to trust the people around me more. I need to let them into my life more. And so we end the issue in their apartment. He knocks on the door. He's not wearing a mask, and he goes like, hey, I'm sorry. And Tiger just breaks down and just like you, I just need you to tell me the truth. I don't need you to lie. I'm so tired of all this kind of stuff and blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm tired of lying to my kid because I only tell my kid that his dad is Hank Pym, that his dad is a hero, and not a Skrull that basically raped me. So like, I don't need any more lies in my life. And he's like, that's fair. And basically, that's when she goes like, all right. And they kiss. And she's like, and they start dating.
Hey!
And like, literally, they walk in and Tiger goes like, hey, I think Mark's my boyfriend now. What? And they watch a VHS movie together.
Mark goes, I guess we gotta play catch now. Come on.
No, because here's the thing. They watch VHS tapes because Tiger has claws and it would scratch DVDs.
Yeah, I saw those panels on Tumblr. That's really smart writing right there.
But also, she's poor and it's really cheap to get VHS tapes from a thrift store.
Mm-hmm.
So like, because she literally says like an Avengers pension like keeps us floating, but it doesn't give us much more than that. So really good issue. Good Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Also,
nice.
Tiger's costume looks really cool.
Yeah. It's nice to see Tiger getting some solid writing.
Yeah. That's all of the comics that we read today.
Woo!
Yeah. No, a lot of good stuff. A lot of controversy and a difference in opinions.
Definitely.
I definitely feel like that book is going to be a love it or hate it kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know. I think it's going to be true. That's true for a lot of like American takes on kaiju.
Yeah.
You know. But hey, anything you would like to say about the comics we read? Like, we haven't done this. Why not put a new segment? Wrap up. What your feelings about news? Feelings about comics? What's your vibe?
Very, very diverse, busy week for news. A lot of cool books got announced for July because of the solicitations.
Yeah.
Marvel's trailer looks all right. Looking forward to that movie. Hopefully they get it right this time. And Penguin Show looks all right.
Yeah.
Comics, some real bangers this week that I wish I could have gone harder on, but I just don't have the energy and I'm a little stuffed up.
And we're also 2.5 hours in, so like.
Yeah. But like very pleasant surprise with Miles.
I'm thinking of picking up Miles from what you've been saying.
Yeah, it's worth at least check out those first 5 issues because I'm pretty sure that's going to be the first trade.
And like, here's the thing: if my theory is correct, every Spider-Man book other than Spider-Man has been okay.
Mm-hmm. And fucking that indie book was a nice little surprise because I literally had a moment where I was like, because it was the last thing I read this week, I think, because I had a moment of like, oh, I'm basically done. Do I really want to read another #1 that I might not get invested in? And then I was like, okay, this is all right. We'll keep going with this. Shame about Superboy though.
Yeah. I'm definitely saying like I'm definitely feeling like it's gonna be better as a full thing. As like an evergreen Superboy story, I think it's gonna work better.
Yeah, but like Superman Lost and Revenge of the Gods both picked up this week, so
yeah.
All in all, not a bad week, I think, and it's gonna be probably a good time next week because we're gonna finally be able to get rid of that text on the screen.
Oh yeah, Ant-Man's coming out next week. But you know what else is probably coming out next week? Another fucking issue of Spider-Man.
Oh no!
I'm reading the entire run because fuck you.
Sounds more like you're fucking yourself there, buddy.
I know. Who do you think I was flipping the bird off? Tell the people where they can find you.
Hey everybody, I'm the Acuminator. I make YouTube videos about things and stuff. Gonna be a very busy week over on my channel because we've got a video coming out at some point this week on my thoughts on like the last 10 years of live action DC discussion and controversy and all that, somehow crammed into less than 20 minutes. And then on Wednesday, because Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania isn't the only thing coming out on Wednesday, Also, the Power Rangers 30th anniversary special drops on Netflix. So I'll be doing a live stream where I'll give sort of my immediate thoughts on that. And also, I'm going to open a bunch of toys because that's what I do on live streams on my channel. If for Marvel fans, hey, going to finally crack open Marvel Legends Spider-Verse Spot and Disney Plus Classic Loki. So if you want to see my thoughts on these when I finally get them out of the box, you'll want to go over, subscribe, turn on notifications and all that good shit. YouTube.com at The Vacuuminator. I'm also on social media, Twitter and Tumblr at The Vacuuminator, TikTok and Instagram at _Vacuuminator.
Yeah. Hey, howdy. I'm the Boingo Writer. You can find me on a variety of places on the internet, including twitch.tv/Boingo Writer, where I stream Monday, Thursdays, and Fridays. I'm also on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram at Boingo_Writer. You can follow me on Tumblr, link in the description. And you can go follow me, subscribe to my YouTube channel, where every week I review Kamen Rider Geats. And every week I review King Oger, and I make a variety of other video essays and editorial type content. And this has been Modular Media's No Prize Podcast, your premier podcast for all comics news, movie news, toy news, and us being bitches.
Mostly the last thing.
Yeah. This is part of Modular Media. Just we're a couple dudes who go like, yo, content, and we all co-own the content because that's what we do.
Yeah.
We also have a couple other podcasts, including Components, which is just a midnight Discord hangout sesh, but released as a podcast because apparently we think we're funny. We also have Analocal Fanboys, a monthly media retrospective podcast. Media club. I was thinking of book club and I couldn't think of the words.
You keep saying book club for all forms of media, and really all you need to say is media club.
That's what I've been saying for the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
But I couldn't remember the word club. The word club escaped my brain. It's a media club. One person picks out a type of media a month, and we watch it, and then we talk about it. This next brains farting. This next one is going to be about Mobile Suit Gundam 8th MS team. So if you want to watch that and see our thoughts on it, yeah,
subscribe.
Yeah. We also have Twit. Tell the people about Twit.
It's the Tokusatsu podcast where myself and Buster talk about all the wild and wacky releases from the wild world of Japanese special effects every week. Going to be a big week coming up because this is the final push again to advertise the Power Rangers 30th anniversary special. So we got a lot of news pertaining to that. Some interesting Super Raya news going on, and pretty busy week for Toku because we got the first episode of the new season of Dog Enders to talk about, and of course the Toei superhero time block is rocking and rolling along.
Oh yeah, especially because I've seen some of the screen caps of the non-translated stuff happen this week on Geats. Oh boy, it's getting spicy.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, if you want to see any of that content, please like, please comment, please subscribe. It'll help us out a lot. Also, hey, did you know Modular Media now has shorts?
Yeah, we're posting shorts now. I haven't made a TikTok account yet, but given that the shorts are popping off really well, it might happen.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens with all that kind of stuff. But just hey, keep an eye out on things. Give it a watch. Give it a listen. Do all the stuff because hey, you're epic and you deserve chalky milk. Do you have anything else you want to say, Vac?
Well, I would love to do something peppy or silly that ties into something we've talked about earlier, like I usually do. But the honest to God truth is, I just want to drink some Dayquil and then go to sleep.
Enough said.